Oh, I found it.
Oh, here we are.
Hey.
You found it. What'd you find? What'd you find there, Jason? Was it a secret?
No, I found an article from 2008. So here's what's interesting. You hear something that changes or happens in, real estate or lending.
Yeah.
And so you go to research it and you find an article and you're like, oh, hey, there it is. Oh, wait, that was written in 2008.
That's like a long time ago now, because I can't believe it's 2021 and I can't believe it's January 18th.
Golly, right? Holy cow.
When you're a kid and all the people say, life goes really fast when you get older, and I never believed it, but I do now.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks. So, hey, welcome everybody. This is a Check This Out PC. PC does not stand for politically correct, although we're not too racy on this show. Not yet, anyway. I'm Katie. I'm a real estate agent, and this is
Jason. I am a mortgage loan originator, whatever you want to call it.
I'm a real estate advisor if you really want to get fancy.
Yes. You know what? If it has to do with a mortgage, I've seen it, done it, or know about it. How about that?
This is true. So Jason and I are a dynamic duo. So anytime you're ready to buy or sell a house, we're here for you.
Right.
So today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. What?
It is. Big day.
Jason's got some awesome facts for us, I hear.
I have some awesome facts. You should see my awesome facts.
Oh, you're on another screen now. There you go.
Oh, no. I'm right there. It's always
got it.
Right there. So in honor of Dr. King, we thought that we would share with you just 10 things that you may not know about the great Martin Luther King. First of which, did you know, Miss Katie, did you know that his original name was not Martin, but it was Michael? Michael King was originally his name.
Does it tell us
why they changed it?
Oh, see, that's just
yes, absolutely. See, but wait, there's more.
Well, wait.
So his father went to Germany. He was traveling to Germany, and he became inspired by Martin Luther, who was the leader of the Protestant Reformation. And he was so impressed by Martin Luther that he came home and he changed his 5-year-old son's name from Michael to Martin, and he changed his own name to Martin after the great Martin Luther, the German theologian who wrote the 95 Theses.
So he doubled down. He changed his name and then made his son a junior.
Changed his life.
That was a pretty good bet. Yeah, Luther, that's a good name.
Yeah. So fact number 2, he entered college at the age of 15. He was extraordinarily intelligent, very bright young kid. He skipped grades 9 and 12, and he received his doctorate in systematic theology.
What does that mean?
So systematic theology is basically the study of church doctrine. So what he did is he went to Bible school, he learned the entire Bible, and he received his doctorate in basically Bible study. So what most people don't really remember or know about Dr. King is that he was a pastor. He was a pastor of the gospel. He was a Christian first. That's who he was. And his dissertation, listen to this, the title of his dissertation for his PhD, A Comparison of the Conceptions of God in the Thinking of Paul Tillich and Harry Nelson Weeman. How's that grab you?
That's pretty amazing. I don't know who these other guys are, but that's pretty amazing. You probably do.
I might have to read it. I don't know who they are. His I Have a Dream speech was not the first one that he ever did at the Lincoln Memorial. He had done one 6 years previous. He was put in prison near.
He did a speech at the Lincoln Memorial 6 years before I Have a Dream speech?
That's correct. Yes.
Same place?
Say what?
Okay.
Yeah. He was put in prison nearly 30 times. So the term that he kind of contributed with his form of protest, it was basically civil disobedience is what it was. It was non-aggressive. It was very passive. It was just, they would do the sit-ins. They would do things to protest injustice. Never violent. Never, ever, ever violent. Never anything. It was always peaceful, but it was very peaceful civil disobedience. And
so he would be super disappointed with the things that are going on in our country right now.
He would.
Yeah. And so was he before Cesar Chavez? Because Cesar Chavez was the same, right? Because I used to teach at Maryvale, so we used to talk about Cesar Chavez and Martin Luther King all the time. But
in fact, I can tell you, by the time we get down to fact number 9 on this, you're going to see just how anti-violence Martin Luther King really was. Fact number 9, absolutely fascinating. So,
an example we all need to follow, I think. So, okay, awesome.
Absolutely. Nearly a decade before he was killed, he was nearly assassinated 10 years before that. Really scary situation. 1958, he was in Harlem. He was signing copies of the book, and he was approached by a woman asking if he was Martin Luther King. He said yes. She said, "I've been looking for you 5 years," and she took a 7-inch letter opener and plunged it into his chest. The blade almost got him, so he survived.
I'm just taking this stat off because people can really read that. So, what website do you get this
from? This is from the History Channel, history.com.
Love the History Channel. I love doing like tips in history. So, okay, what are we on, 7?
Yeah, 7. His last public speech actually foretold his death. He actually talked about whether or not, he basically said he'd like to live a long life, but he's not concerned about that. And he said he may not get there. And he had that speech, basically was his last public speech before he actually died. I don't know if he knew or what, but I mean, he had to know what it is that he was doing and the way that he was, stirring things up. There are a lot of, and the other thing too, right? Like he was a Christian person, and the models in the Bible, right, of people who had, I mean, you got to remember Christianity was illegal in the 1st century. So it was very, similar. And a lot of the heroes of the faith that he would have pointed to, none of the disciples actually survived. Only one of them died of old age. All 11 of them were actually killed.
Well, just even to take it secularly, if that's a word.
Yeah.
It's the people like the girl from the Columbine shootings, the one that I forget her name now. She knew as a teenager she wasn't going to live long, but she was going to make a difference in the world. So it's really kind of interesting to look at it from that perspective.
Do you want to hear what's really crazy about that? I don't even think you know this. The girl that you're talking about, she used to be my next door neighbor. She used to live right next door to me.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. That is, we could go off on that all day. Rabbit hole.
Fact number 8, we'll get back to it. Members of Martin Luther King's family, they did not believe that James Earl Ray acted alone. They actually felt that there was a conspiracy and that he was set to take the blame.
Same thing as the JFK shooting.
That's right. So fact number 9, and this dovetails into what I was talking about. Martin Luther King, his mother was actually also killed by a bullet. So in 1974, his mother was playing the organ at a Sunday church service, and a guy came in with a gun, started firing, and shot and killed her as well as a deacon. And he was sentenced to the death penalty, and it was later changed to life imprisonment, in part due to the King family. They opposed capital punishment, so they advocated not to execute this man for the murder of Martin Luther King's mom. They did not believe in capital punishment. That is how peaceful that they were and how much they believed.
That's interesting.
And number 10, George Washington is the only other American to have had his birthday observed as a national holiday. So that is the most significant non-president. His impact on this country today, observed today, as a national federal holiday. Big deal. And I would share one thing, if I could. Can I share one thing here?
Yeah. The other person that's President Columbus, because we should be getting rid of that one soon.
Yeah, I think so. And so we talked about my family the other week. My family is this wonderful hodgepodge of cultures from all over the world. 11 kids all adopted. A family like mine would not be possible in the United States without the work, the life, and the legacy of Dr. Martin. So,
if you think about it that way, that's super incredible.
Yeah. So
look at those, look at you guys. It's a big family. Who's that big fellow in the middle?
The big fella in the middle, I don't know. Rumor has it his name is Jason and he does mortgages. That's what I heard anyway. So.
Yeah. So, I forgot to put it in our teaser, but yeah. And this is why a lot of people have the day off today. People like you and I, we don't have the day off, but that's fine, So thank you for those facts.
Yeah, you bet.
So now we're going to talk about housing predictions really quickly. I got this from Redfin, not my favorite, Redfin and blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to quickly give these to you. Our housing market, Jason, you probably know, it's still in 2021, home sales are going to jump 11.4%.
Believe it.
Yeah. And so as I talked about last week, it's crazy. Our market is still strong. I'll talk about that in a minute. And the reason why people want to move to Phoenix, Arizona is because, well, we're the 5th largest city in the nation. Metro Phoenix is nearly 5 million, but we do have a lot to do here. And the weather, like today, right now, I don't know what the temperature is, but I can open up the house and it's beautiful, right? You can go hiking pretty much year round, that kind of thing. Okay. So the number one prediction is that mortgage rates are going to stay where they're at. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Here's the thing. So mortgage interest rates are great because the Federal Reserve has to continue to buy stimulus. They continue to spend money to buy treasuries, to buy mortgage-backed securities. And as long as that stimulus exists, and here's the thing, more stimulus is coming because Joe Biden wants to put together a $2 trillion package almost, again, for further stimulus. So the government's got to borrow that money, which means the Federal Reserve is going to have to purchase the treasuries. They're going to have to purchase the mortgage-backed securities. That's what's keeping interest rates low. So that demand is going to stay high.
See, I knew you would know. I knew you would clarify that for me. So here's the other prediction too. The inventory is still going to stay low. It is. It just is. So even with new builds and things like that, we're just having difficulty keeping up. I mean, right now in the Valley alone, it's up since last week, since I talked. So active homes, all of them. This includes condos, townhomes, single family, everything. 5,793. However, if I narrow that down to single family detached, not putting any specifications in for, 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, whatever, only 838.
What?
Yeah. Yes. And if I narrow that even more to have those include pools, no stipulation on how many rooms and stuff, 56 homes. And this will include Metro Phoenix, but also other places that will allow us to put, or like Payson or something that sometimes can advertise on our MLS.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example of how crazy it is. This week, I called a listing agent for a buyer of mine that's trying to purchase a home. She told me that we were the 38th offer in line. She literally had 38 offers on her listing.
Yeah. So what does this mean? It just means it's great. It's great for sellers. It is. But if you're selling and wanting to buy, you're going to be have a difficult time on the buyer's side. Okay. The next prediction is that first-time home buyers are still going to be out there in full force. We're going to be working. I'm sure you've seen that big trend in that also. And then prediction 4 is that if there's any way for you to hold on to your home, if you don't want to live there anymore, you want to go somewhere else, you want to buy a new one. If you can hold on to your home and rent it out, that is a very, very smart move for you to do. Because I got another stat for you, Jason. Are you ready?
Oh, please. Tell me.
Well, wait. There's more.
Wait.
So if you're looking to rent a home, and this is on the MLS only, things have changed. I believe Zillow is not allowing MLS listings for rentals on Zillow anymore, which I think is fabulous because when I'm speaking to renters, I'm saying we have to work on this together. I will do my best for you, but we don't have all of the homes available on the MLS, and you need to look at Zillow, Rent by Owner, and also Craigslist, and we'll all work together to get this figured out. Because on the MLS alone, so this is not the whole rental market, right? But on the MLS alone, not putting any stipulations in, there are 3,390 places available, including apartments and things like that, okay? If I narrow that down to single family that wants to rent at $1,800 or below, because the average rent's $2,000 to $2,500. That's what's nuts, okay? But if you put it at $1,800 below, because there's a lot of people in that area, $1,800 is high. There are only, and this is single family with no stipulations again on how many bedrooms or whatever, or pools or, 277 homes.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you're a buyer you have any suggestions, Jason?
If you're a buyer, I'll tell you this: you want to get pre-approved.
Wait. I got one more thing because then you're going to talk about that next.
Yes. Okay.
So here's the thing. Here's the other thing. The prediction is that more buyers are going to be putting down more cash. So like back in the day when it crashed, and people are always asking me this now, like, and we'll talk about conventional and FHA loans later, but I don't have enough money to put 20% down. Well, you don't have to. However, in this market, this is happening more and more often, and people are putting far more than 20% down. So this is another prediction that's just going to keep going up and up and up. Okay. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw in another prediction is that there's going to be a lot more appraisal waiver of the appraisal contingencies. Okay. Okay. Before you get on this is awesome. Jennifer's got a big quote for us. We've been watching these buy and sell trends. My hubby and I are thankful that we are both veterans and both have VA home loan option. We'll need to buy the new house under one name while we wait to sell our current house that is under the other loan. Well, that's interesting. So, and we're going to talk more about this next week, Jennifer. But you want to say something about that real quick, Jason?
Yeah. So one thing, Jennifer, you got to watch whenever it is a government loan, meaning VA or FHA, the rules in Arizona, because it's a community property state, say that you have to consider the non-purchasing spouse's credit report. Here's what that means. That means if the house that you're in is in one of your names and you want to buy a second home in the other spouse's name, you got to make sure that you can still qualify with both payments because VA is going to require that you look at that non-purchasing spouse's credit report. So there are ways to do that. There are ways that we do that very well, but make sure that you have your eye on that because that's one thing that you got to be careful of there. And that it's not conventional loans. Conventional loans, I think, would work if I understand where it is that you're going. Conventional loans, you don't have to have the non-purchasing spouse's credit report in that application. But if it's a government loan, you have to.
Okay, so this is interesting. This is going to be perfect because I'm done talking about the predictions right now. So our show is going to go a little longer, but that's okay. We go for where our goal is 15 to 30 minutes. Jason, now lender extraordinaire expert, is going to talk about the difference between pre-qualified versus pre-approved because there is a difference and it will make a difference in your ability to acquire that loan sometimes. I mean, we have some crazy stories, right, Jason?
Oh, my goodness. Absolutely. Yeah, we got a few. Here's the thing, okay? Pre-qualifications are very, very easy to get. In fact, you'll see some mortgage companies, especially the large ones that advertise, that are famous for the celebrities that endorse them. Yeah. They advertise on their website, you can get pre-qualified in minutes. And here's what that means. It means that you go to their website, it means you put information in, and they come back and say, hey, congratulations, you're pre-qualified. Here's the problem with the pre-qualification, and this is what real estate agents know, this is what people in the industry know, that pre-qualification, you betcha, Jennifer.
We love you. Thank you, Jennifer, for being an active participant always. She's the one that gave us the question about the caulking and stuff, and so we should probably put out a pre-show toward the end of the week and see if there's any questions people have that we can research. Okay, so back to it.
The thing about a qualification is it's best based on you entering your information. I'll give you a perfect example of where you can get in trouble with that. Hey, I'm an hourly employee. I make $25 an hour. So $25 an hour, 40 hours a week, this is what it is. But here's the problem. Maybe you had to take a day off that wasn't paid for. Maybe you got sick for a couple weeks. Lenders, what we do is we look at your information and we average that income over a period of time. And a lot of times that income number is different. So if you're relying on a pre-qualification, all that means is that somebody has not actually taken a look at that and analyzed it and calculated it properly. A full pre-approval means we've reviewed your income, we've reviewed your assets, we've looked at all of the documentation. It means that what we need to be able to close your loan is a purchase contract, a preliminary title report, and an appraisal, and we're ready to rock and roll because the rest of the work has already been done.
Well, the thing is, and I have a question that's coming up that I'm going to put up here in a second, Jason, that we can talk about. But what's interesting as a real estate agent too, and Jason and I work together. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out here. I'm his number one agent. The thing is, when you are pre-approved, you can get a pre-qualified is kind of like Geico, in 15 minutes I can give you this info. But getting pre-approved means, like Jason said, you have all of that info in there, and there are not going to be any surprises. So a lot of the big places, like, I'm not going to call it out, but sometimes big banks and things like that, they don't get all of that information up front, and they're gathering it as they go. And then suddenly someone's like, oh, I didn't tell you about my student loan, or I have a lien on this. And then suddenly you don't qualify for the loan, and you're 35 days into this contract, okay? And so it's just a horrible situation for everybody if that happens, right? So that's why I think it's better to be pre-approved, not just pre-qualified. Now, pre-qualified, we'll do that at the first to put an offer on a house because, oh my God, we saw this house. There's no offers on it yet. We want to get it in. Let's get that pre-qual letter. But then what Jason does is immediately get all that other stuff so that there are no surprises.
Well, and here's the thing about that too. Like I told you earlier, I was calling that listing agent and they had 35 offers on the home. The reason why we want to be able to do that is we want to explain the fact that we've done a full pre-approval on this client, right? We want to be able to explain. Here's the thing, right now with COVID, if you're self-employed, that's a very, very difficult thing. You want to be able to explain, look, we've taken a look at the bank statements, the P&Ls, and one of the things that happens when you perform a full pre-approval, and as a lender, I have the opportunity to call a listing agent to talk about your deal, we have the ability to display our competence to let them know that we've done all the due diligence to make sure they're going to have a smooth transaction. So what you got to understand, right, in a market like this, that's as competitive as this, you have to have every tool at your disposal as you negotiate trying to get your contract. And here's what happens. A pre-approval is a key ingredient in terms of your ability to negotiate successfully a contract to buy a house.
All right, Jason, here's a question for you. The number of offers on housing is unbelievable. Would you recommend buying a turnkey home or attempt to build? Now, here's the question, Brian, if you're still on here. Are you talking buy a piece of land that doesn't have plumbing, electricity, and all of that, or new build or something like that? Like, I need to know exactly. Like, Jason will probably have a little bit of comment on both of those, but
Sure.
Because we've talked about this before. A lot of people think they can just come in and buy land and build, and it's going to be cheaper, and it's not cheaper, and it's not easier necessarily.
Brian, here's the way that I'd answer that question. It depends. It's like so many different things when it comes to buying a home or a lending. In my opinion, it depends. What is your situation? Is it something that requires you to need to move right away? Because if it does, an attempt to build is going to be a very difficult thing. Contractors are hard to find. You know, there's a lot of limitations that happen on that side, the same way that there is in terms of limitation in inventory. So what I would say is
I think we're looking for like his best choice here. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing. If it's a new build home, that could be a fantastic option if it works for your situation. If you have the ability to wait 9, 10, 12 months to be able to purchase, that's not a bad option at all. If you have the ability to pick up a piece of land and, you know, you have the ability to go through the process of, you know, getting together an architect and putting together a contractor and all of those things for, you know, new construction on your own, that could be a good option. The answer is, most importantly, whatever your situation is, you need somebody professional to be able to talk about your specific situation, give you the pros and cons of each, because that decision at the end of the day wouldn't be what it is that we recommend. It's what it is that you feel is best for you. But that's after a dialogue weighing all of the different options on every single one of those possibilities.
Yeah, and that's really important. That's one thing that we pride ourselves on is like our ability to provide your comfortability and ease in a transaction. So it's always about you and it's always about your comfortability. So the best thing, so things aren't slowing down because of COVID-19, guys. And there's a lot of people that go, oh, I'm going to wait until the housing prices drop. They're not going to drop. They're not. And they're not going to stop selling, and the inventory is still going to stay low. So you need to, you know, if you're going to think about this is why it's important to have a real estate advisor and a mortgage. What did you call yourself?
Mortgage loan originator, loan officer, mortgage guru, whatever you like.
I would say mortgage guru for sure, because I mean, you're the guy. He's the guy that I send everybody to. So even if they have other lenders, I'm like, just talk to me. Let's see what your best options are. Okay. Yeah. So that's the thing. So your comfortability and needs are the most important things. So boom, that's why we're doing this, Jason, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. So
the last thing I have is in the news, and I'm always looking it up, and I'd prefer it to be weird. So I actually got this from the UK, which is kind of interesting. I guess I didn't create a little banner for it. So there's this girl, and the title is It's from this, I forgot what the website is now. I'll have to look it up. Oh, Weird News. So, woman horrified to discover cameras and two-way mirror in the wall of her new home. Yeah. So, but further research suggests, okay, so she moves into this home and she was shocked. And you never know what you're going to have, right? So she says, on this website, they say, we recently saw one woman moved into a new home only to find the last owner had left part of a human heart in the kitchen. Wow. Oh, okay. We got a comment real quick. Okay. So Brian says, thank you. Always complicated. Seems like that market, someone could end up making offers for years as well. Crazy. Oh yeah. I mean, like Jason said, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more than 38 offers on a home.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So anyway, this lady, so there's some crazy things, and this is in the UK, like I said. So this new homeowner has made a rather bizarre discovery in her bathroom. I've got updates. So she's Annabelle Nicholson, and she's on TikTok, and I'm going to show you a couple of her little videos. She's only 18, so she and her family moved into a new property in Arizona, it says. Wait, what? In Arizona? This is weird because it says a woman found a weird message written on a wheelie bin. So this is UK. And that's a trash can. So it was terrifying or whatever. So Annabelle, she was so intrigued with this whole thing. So they buy this house for only like, I don't know, $30,000. Just something crazy. Like they needed all these updates. So she said, I'm a little scared because she says, we started looking at this thing and it looked like a two-way mirror. So they didn't know what to do. So then they they went searching. So here's what happens. Okay, let me just show you. Okay.
This is part one of the story time, and the reason we are like...
Okay, hang on. Here it is. Oh, wait. Yeah, here it is. This one. Sorry.
Certain there's a two-way mirror is because this was a house.
I'm not sharing it, am I?
No.
I'm always doing something awesome.
So to clear everything up, it was a two-way mirror at one point. As you can see, the streaks of the paint everywhere. And yeah, so this is what we're dealing with. So to clear everything up, it was a two-way mirror at one point. As you can see.
Okay, here's the other one. This is going to explain more.
House.
Cheers.
That's a two-way mirror?
Yeah, that's a two-way mirror. So they found cameras and stuff. So 1 second. So she explains this too. Share screen. Sorry, some of the time I still get like, what?
I wonder if they put that in the spuds, Katie.
That was dealt with in the cartel, I guess you could say. It was a drug lord's house, I guess. And there was 2 strippers that lived here, and there was parties all the time. There's cameras that surround my house, and we couldn't figure out what the cameras went to until we went in the attic. And the attic is a whole nother story. That thing is creepy and has like 80 lights in it. Like there's no need to have that many lights in an attic. And another thing is that this was a party house. Like there's cameras that led into the back gate and would let people in. Like the neighbors have told us this, as one of the neighbors used to party with this dude and he knew everything about him. There's a hole in my backyard that had 20 grand in it that somebody came and asked where the money was at after he died. Part 2. So this is part 1 of the story time. And
okay, hang on. I gotta close these out here. So that's the thing, like, I don't know how truthful it is. So this is what happens, this sensationalized stories, and they come out and it's like, ooh, two-way mirror. Well, at one point there was a two-way mirror in there. Thanks, Jennifer. You could hear it. There was a two-way mirror in there, but they figured out it for whatever reason. And who knows if the cartel really lived there? Who knows if they actually had $20,000 in the backyard? You know what I mean? But this leads into a topic that we need to cover, and that is, like you said, what did you call that, Jason? I wonder if they put that in the what?
Spuds.
Which is seller property disclosure statement. And then maybe we'll talk about that next week. So if you guys have any questions about what you have to reveal, because you're good, I'm not gonna tell you right now. There are some things you're gonna be very surprised that the seller does not have to reveal, nor does the agent. So sometimes getting a good deal on a house could be like, right? So do you think that they really had $20,000 cash in the backyard?
No.
No. They might have had two-way mirrors. They might have done some weird filming of something in there, you know.
Would not have been nearly as cheery about somebody picking up $20,000 out of her backyard. I would have been like, "Hey, I bought it. It never in the ground. And with that hairdo, I mean, I'm honest. Like if you had $20,000, you could probably, pay to do something a little different up there. So
yeah. Well, and the cartel, they're not be like, hey, the cartel stopped by. They want their 20,000. What? So. Anywho. So yeah, we'll talk about that next week. The SPUDs, the seller property disclosure statement, some other lending stuff, things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So hey, we went 30 minutes. We sure can talk, Jason.
Yeah, we can. We do that very well.
As always, I love your socks.
Love your socks, Katie.
Have a great day, everybody. Whoop, whoop.